Your love is more potent than your beliefs. October 3, 2014. Allow your opening and expanding hearts to guide you in every endeavor, and you'll have little difficulty feeling the wholeness so many of you desire to feel. With the immense and miraculous things you have the potential to do in this time of heightened consciousness and awareness, the best thing we can recommend is to seek your sacred heart space and enjoy the flowing perceptual gifts that result. Your heart space is more important than we can express, and finding your real and potent connection with it will help you feel the divine wonders that seem missing from the perception of many of you. Even the conscious community has a ways to go before they can fully and purely embody the love you're meant to embody and share with the rest of humanity, but you've made a lot of potent progress already, and we couldn't be happier to see this. Continue to be receptive. We're doing everything we can from our positions to help you find and feel a greater level of love than you've been able to so far, and as long as you continue to be receptive to the energies and impressions of your respective higher selves and guides, the connection you can make with us will increase in purity. You'll soon find that you're able to connect very easily and produce a wealth of flowing communications that can benefit you and those around you who are also ready to refine the light. The work the conscious community is doing is very important, because your diligent efforts are raising the planetary vibration and making it easier for waves of souls who were previously lost in darkness and unawareness to find the light and embrace the spiritual aspects of your existence, which have been unknown for a very long amount of your concept of time. Many revelations regarding the purely spiritual nature of your existence have been suppressed to benefit those in power who strive to keep you unaware of just what you're capable of, but now, the conscious community is stepping up and using their spiritual awareness for positive and progressive purposes, creating and strengthening a revolution of love that's affecting the minds and hearts of every individual, even if they don't realize it. You're reaching out and affecting everyone around you, and in most cases, the souls you're reaching are more than ready to refine the light and see what a spiritually abundant lifestyle has to offer. More souls subconsciously desire to awaken now than ever before, and for this and plenty of other reasons, we wholeheartedly encourage you to continue your valiant missions, even when you don't feel like you can do anything helpful or significant. Every moment of your lives is a moment to do something positive, and you can constantly assist in the restoration of consciousness if you make a true and solid effort. This will require living in love as much and as often as possible, and however difficult it might seem, you're more than capable, you simply have to realize you are and flow from there. If you're committed to doing anything, you can and will do it. Humans have shown that you can take commitment very far, and in the case of the conscious community, you can all be committed to constantly living in love and being a conduit for this love for everyone around you to draw off of. You can constantly express an overflowing bounty of love to the people around you, but we note that giving in to the constant wants and demands of the ego tends to be a lot easier and more preferable. Instead of listening to the ego's incessant demands, we implore you to see just what the open and brimming heart space can offer you and those around you. With love by your side, you're completely infinite in terms of what you can do and be, and if you constantly keep in mind that love is with you and could never be apart or distant from you, living for the divine will be a breeze. It'll be easier than you might think or expect, because you'll be more motivated than ever to live for the love you're discovering in increasingly pure measures. The more you live for it, the more you'll naturally be able to feel it, so we ask you with love in our one heart to embrace it with every ounce of yourselves and refuse to sway in favor of the ego's tricks and distractions. The fading ego will do everything in its power to get you to continuously feed it and its wants and desires, but you're on the earth for a far greater purpose. Choose love over ego. You aren't on the earth to endlessly feed the ego or any other lower facet of your consciousness that doesn't need ignored but needs loving nurturance and healing. You're here to give those parts of yourselves this love and healing as you also give it to the people around you who, in many cases, are desperately in need of it. You don't need to ignore or deny your egos, and instead, you can give them all of the loving nurturance they require while going out of your way not to feed them or the lower desires they seek to express and feed through you. There's a big difference between giving the ego the nurturance it requires and outright feeding it, and we're confident that those of you who are ready to make a real and pure change to your lifestyles will see just how harmful and destructive continuously feeding it can be. We ask you, with appreciation for how difficult refraining from feeding the ego is, to shift your focus away from your perception of your physical self and onto the love you can now access and the things you can do with this love to make your lives, as well as the lives of those around you and the rest of the planet, easier, more free-flowing, more progressive and more enjoyable. Instead of consistently worrying about yourselves and how your wants and desires can be satisfied, shift this focus to the world around you and the people in your immediate vicinity. Ask yourselves every day what you can do to make the lives of those around you easier. Ask what you can do to make the lives of complete strangers easier if you feel inspired to, because from our perspective, this is among the best ways to create change, on your planet or any others. Yes, a lot of bold and undeniable changes need made to your planet, such as the dethroning of your self-serving governments and the redistribution of financial abundance back into the hands of the people, who truly deserve it, but the biggest changes that need made revolve around how you treat each other. How humanity acts toward one another is the biggest and most concerning item on our agenda, and even if all of the miraculous changes you've heard about manifested tomorrow, your collective vibration would still be in the same place. Little will change until all of humanity can make the inner changes that are required to bring your planet and society into the light. While we understand and empathize with the fact that many of you have been waiting for disclosure, financial abundance, and various other things that you feel will make your lives better and enable you to create the direct changes that need made, we implore you to bring your focus inward and see what you can do to live for love and help the rest of the world do the same. As we have so much in the past, we'll continue to reiterate that inner change is far more important than outer, and the inner changes you each choose to make will eventually facilitate the outer changes you've wanted to see, as long as you can remain committed to them. It'd be much easier to witness disclosure or financial restructuring than it would to seriously and discerningly take a look at yourselves, your tendencies and habit patterns and see what needs changed. But this is truly the best way to create change. Living in love and simplicity and sharing the love you can now feel with everyone around you who's in need of nurturance is the best way you can create change, and finding little positive and helpful things to do for others each day will accelerate your ascension timetable and purify the collective consciousness more than almost anything else. The forces who are working behind the scenes to bring about the changes you've waited to see require you to live in love and find inner, heart-centered abundance before you can enjoy any outer abundance that could potentially result, and we're confident that those of you who recognize that inner changes need made will continue to diligently pursue your ascension paths with the understanding that the things you do right now determine the future you'll create. The future is now. In truth, there is no future as you see it, for everything exists in this infinite moment of now. The things you choose to do in this moment affect the now you'll experience in what you term your future, and no matter what you do or how you live, you're creating the next now moments you'll experience, however far down the line they may be. When you choose to live for love and harmony, you manifest those higher qualities in the collective consciousness and everyone benefits. When you choose to live for the ego or express the negative and self-serving qualities it'd have you feed, you manifest these qualities and keep your planet and society from collectively entering the light. You have a wealth of divinely inspired changes to make to the broken manner in which your planet continues to function, but before you can make them, you must first look very deep within and fix whatever is defunct or broken about yourselves. Even the most lighted and receptive seekers still have inner issues to deal with, and there are almost no conscious souls on your planet who've completed all of their life path work. Some have, and they've ascended and come back again as enlightened souls to lead the way for the rest of humanity, but for the most part, every conscious seeker still has unresolved vasanas and similar things to deal with that we wholeheartedly recommend you take a look at. You can only change the things about your planet that you're willing to change about yourselves, and when you've completed the greatest of your inner work, you'll find an abundance of heart-centered love energy flowing your way that, again, you'll be able to use to make the lives of those around you better. Before we make our final expressions for this communication, we want to encourage those of you who have a tightly knit group of people around you to focus on how you can help them find a greater level of love and wholeness throughout the day. We know many of you are fond of attempting to awaken others to the beliefs you cherish and hold closely, but this isn't what we refer to when we say this. We don't necessarily want to encourage you to attempt to awaken those around you to the beliefs you carry close to your hearts, but instead, you can help them find the love those beliefs led you to access. Instead of trying to awaken someone to the existence of your benevolent galactic family and their advanced, organically etheric technology, for example, you can do a nice deed or two to help their days go by a little easier. You can express pure, unconditional love to them instead of trying to make them aware of ascension, because the love you have the potential to feel and express is far more potent than any beliefs that have led you to it. The infinite, omnipotent love you can radiate to everyone around you will raise your vibration and the vibration of the people in your lives more than attempting to awaken them to certain beliefs or concepts, and we'll make our final expressions for this communication with appreciation for the amount and purity of love you've been able to radiate so far. Your abilities as light workers and gatekeepers are purer than you yet understand, and we're confident that you'll realize their purity in due time as you continue to raise your individual and collective vibration. Your work has just begun, and you can increase it whenever you feel particularly inspired. Continue to be the brimming conduits for Source you're starting to become, and always keep in mind that you have the love, support and assistance of waves of higher dimensional souls who watch you experience the difficult trials of the earth with immense, undying gratitude for the personal sacrifices you've made to be there. We love you all more than we can express, and we know you'll feel this love as you continue to become aware of it. Thank you to my higher self and spiritual guides. Channeled through Wes Anak. cultureofawareness.com